Hello! My name is Nawa-ish, and welcome back to Illustrator Plays Minecraft. We are back in survival, and I spent some time tweaking some of the paths. I decided that I like the regular path blocks here, so I brought it back. And over here, I just simplified it to the mud and the mushroom blocks. So what are we gonna do today? Am I finally gonna give these sheep a proper home? Nah. I have something else in mind. I think it's time to finally put something on top of the pillar. Hello, Gasty. How have you been? We are gonna need your help today. When I first built this pillar, I wasn't really sure what to put on top of it, but I got some nice suggestions in the comments, and it really helped to get my brain going. So thank you for those. Ooh, that's good. I left a fence post up here. And a chest, apparently. Ooh, it's just dirt. Right. I also need to remember that there is a hole here that I can't cover up because it's casting a light down onto this patch of grass that's down here. So before I start drawing anything, I want to see how much space we have up here to build. I think we're kind of close to world height. I'm gonna stack up with some sand. Wait, I need a safe way to get down. No, I don't have water. Okay, I went down and got some. There we go. Let's start pillaring up. Okay. I guess we have a lot more room than I thought. Whee! And torch. Okay, well that was a bit pointless, but it's good to know that we have a lot of space. Shall we get to drawing? What I want to make is a ruined house that's been taken over by nature after being thrust into the sky on this pillar. So I started off with doodles of houses, until I drew one that I liked. And on the side of this house, I want there to be a conservatory that's filled with plants. It took me a while to get the shape right for it, because I was completely overthinking the roof. But this is what I ended up with. Before we put down any blocks, I want to lay out and plan where everything's gonna go. So the house will be here, the conservatory, maybe like a remnant of a path. And I'm thinking it would be nice if there's like a tree somewhere around here. And we need something to cover up the hole in the ground over here. I want to do a proper drawing, and I'm gonna draw it from this angle, so it gets everything in the frame. Just nudge back without falling off. Okay, so we start off with a house. I'm imagining that from this angle, the roof is still more or less intact. Maybe just a few holes here and there. Then we have the tree. I'm basing this off of a tree that I came across on a walk. I like it because it has an interesting shape to it. While I was drawing this, I started to imagine what sort of people lived here. And I'm thinking it was a gardener and a woodworker. The gardener loved tending to their garden, but was always sad and frustrated when rabbits would come and eat their plants. So the woodworker made them the conservatory to keep some of the plants safe. And there can be a woodworker shed to the right that conveniently covers the hole in the ground. And they would make planter boxes and raised garden beds for their little backyard. But after the catastrophe happened, the house became abandoned and covered with moss. And all the flowers and the plants have grown wild and completely took over the land. The woodworker shed is collapsing, covered with weeds and bushes, but you just might see some rabbits still hopping around. So first things first, I need a better way to get up and down from here. I haven't beaten the dragon yet, which means I do not have an elytra, and taking the ghast up and down is gonna take a bit too long. So we'll just do a bubble elevator, which was one of the suggestions in the comments. So let's say if we put it here, where will it end up? Oh, iron farm's still working, that's good. Okay, this is pretty good. It might be a bit better if it's slightly over this way. So pretty much where this torch is. So the entrance is here, and we can just start towering up. Don't drown! Don't drown! Oh! Oh, that was close. Let's make this water elevator now. Kelp. Bone meal. Soul sand. Ow. 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 I should have just bone mealed it from the bottom. What am I doing? Right, I still need a way to get safely down. Maybe I can just put a pool of water somewhere here that I can just jump into. Okay, this area might be good. Wait, what happened to your leash? While I'm already down here, I'm gonna collect some colored wool so we can put down some placeholder blocks for the layout. Luckily, I have a lot of string for my spider farm, so we don't have a problem with wool, but this might be a sign that we do need to make something for the sheep. Okay, secured the ghast. Let's go on up. Whee! Whoa, it really shoots you out. So let's start plotting down the building. The main house? Something like this, maybe? And orange for the little sticky out addition. Maybe it's a bit too short. And the conservatory comes out like this. Make sure the roofs can be centered, and all that's left to do is put in the walls and the roof. Okay, this is how it turned out. I should set up like a viewing platform so I know where to stand to match the drawing a bit more. Something like this? Yeah, that looks about right. So the tree will be right around here. And the little woodworking shed. Make sure I don't fall in. Going with a little bit of a diagonal. And the last thing is the well. Nothing huge or fancy. Okay, it is looking pretty good. Before we start filling everything in, let me do another quick drawing. I want to do a more detailed drawing of the house. I'm using my previous drawings that I did as a base, and I'm tracing over it, but I'm taking out chunks of the walls and the roof to show what it looks like after it got abandoned and nature taking over. And the whole thing is basically just moss. The roof on one side has just completely collapsed, and the inside of the house is just overgrown and green. And this drawing is going to be really helpful when I'm putting in the blocks. So, block palettes. Nothing really out there for this, seeing that this house is like 90% moss, but I might throw in some gravel and stuff like coral. And here's the roof palette. Jungle wood might be a bit too bright for this, so let's get rid of it. One problem is that I don't have a lot of terracotta and dripstone, so I guess we have to go out and get some. Ooh, bunny. That's gonna come in handy later. And now, oh, ow. We go get some dripstone. I think there's a little cave of it somewhere around my base. Ooh, I've forgotten how awesome this world generation is here. Oh, here it is. Here's the dripstone. Outside here looks kind of cool, so I don't really want to ruin it. So let's go inside. Ooh, a mine shaft. Oh, glow squid! This actually might be the first time I'm getting glow squid ink. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm just coming up to my base area here, and you can actually kind of see a bit of the roof peeking out from the top of the pillar, and I'm not quite sure if I like that. I feel like it messes up the perception of the size of the pillar. Like the whole pillar looks less grand if you can see like a man-made structure on top of it. Maybe I just need to tweak the house a bit so you can't see it as much from down here. So I'm gonna make it a tiny bit smaller. Okay, you can barely tell the difference, but I did make it a bit smaller. Now that we have all the blocks, let's start filling in. I just filled it in with the basic blocks first, and I'm just getting started on the conservatory. I'm actually thinking white glass, because yeah, the regular glass looks a bit too clean. Put in a stone foundation. If we look at the drawing, we need to have some sort of framing structure to the glass. And I tried using stuff like trapdoors and fences, but ultimately I decided to keep it really simple and just use solid wood blocks. Maybe we can also change some of the glass to green glass, because the inside is going to be very overgrown, so it might be all grimy like this. And I do think I like the birch better than the pale oak. Okay, I'm trying out glass panes and solid glass blocks. Just trying to figure out if it'll help with anything. I also got rid of the green glass because it was being a bit distracting. But I don't know. Just having the plain glass block might be the right call here. I'm gonna sit on this and come back to it later with fresh eyes. Gotta put down the floor here too. And the second floor, just barely hanging on. Alright, time to texture this. In the rain. The drawings that I did before really helped with this. And this is how the conservatory turned out. I did just use glass blocks, but on the inside I added in some glass panes and some trapdoors. Okay, I haven't done the floors. Let's make it messy. Just gonna go with what feels right. Like the wood here would probably be decaying and falling down. And over here there is the hole in the roof, so it'll be more damaged here too. And the top floor up here can be sloping down and on the verge of collapsing. And there needs to be a stairway that just leads to nowhere. Oh, hello. You have an urban explorer here. We do have to add all the greenery and the overgrowth that's growing inside of this house, but I think I want to work on the tree first. For the tree, I'm thinking I'm gonna use some birch leaves, so let me gather some of those. And for the trunk, I'm liking the sort of gray color. Out of these, I think I like the pale oak the most. And we can use tuff, because that has all the slabs and the stairs and stuff like that. And maybe we can do spruce trapdoors. I haven't updated this world yet, so I don't have access to those new shelves. Maybe when I do update I can come back and add them. Okay, Gasty, we're going back up again. Just following along with the drawing and trying to get down the main branches. I don't like this placement, so I am gonna tear it down. It needs to be more like around here. Or, that's not right either. To make this easier, I just have a traced out line art of the tree, and it's gonna go right here. Okay, time to remake it. The branches are a bit of a mess, but I think the shape is okay. The trunk needs a bit more help. Maybe I could just throw in some trapdoors. I could keep on tweaking the branches over and over again for hours, but I am just gonna start adding in the leaves instead. It is done. These big trees always take a lot longer than I expect. Compared to the drawing, there might be a bit too many leaves, but I'm really liking the shape that I got. And it looks alright from all angles, except maybe this one. This one still looks a bit like a pom-pom. But hey, I think it's alright. I keep finding things that I want to change, like right here. But overall, I am happy with this. Okay, time to start working on the well. It doesn't really make too much sense that the water would be so high up on the surface like this, so I'm gonna stop the water by a few blocks and make like a little platform. Fill it up with water and add in some vines so we can climb out. Nothing too fancy up here. And a cauldron for the bucket. Okay, moving on to the shed. I want to move it over by a few blocks, just so that it matches the drawing a bit better. Oh, I found another thing that I want to fix on the tree. This is never ending. Okay, shed moved over. We're just gonna make it very dilapidated with dark oak. What do you think? Yeah, it's just a pile of wood, isn't it? But hey, that's kind of what I was going for. Excuse me. I need some space. Thank you. This is the woodworker shed. So I'm thinking a crafting table, maybe some trapdoors, like shelves or tabletop. Be careful of the hole. This is also a good time to mention that I finally got invisible item frames. Ooh, exciting. I am totally gonna go around the base and do this for all the item frames now. Let's add in some more bits and bobs. What about putting in a woodworking table? Ooh, and a little thing of wood. Maybe they were right in the middle of working on something, with some extra wood stacked behind here. I decided to put the bucket in the well, and we can have this hanging chain, like it just broke off. Oh, hi llama. What happened to your trader? This is coming together pretty nicely. All that's left to do is all the greenery. Gonna need a lot of bone meal for this. And let's bring up all the flowers and bushes and grass and everything. I did consider for a second to go around and put down each individual grass, but I am just gonna bone meal this. And get rid of all the flowers. Wow, it's a lot of grass. Add in some ferns. I almost forgot, but I should add in some moss here. Ooh, how about crops? Maybe the gardener had like a raised garden bed with some veggies. And maybe we can have it placed here-ish. And I did think acacia, but it's a bit too close in color to the tree. So oak? Oak planks. I'm not sure how realistic it is that crops would still be growing like this, but it looks cool and adds a bit of color, so I'm gonna do it. Flower time! I want to start with a pink patch of flowers. Just gonna add in the 2 tall flowers. So the peonies and the lilacs. You can also add in the flowering azalea leaves to add more height. Terracotta, can't forget terracotta. I like using terracotta for flowers. Up close it is a bit weird, but with so much grass in the way, it obscures it enough that I think it's believable. Some of the nether plants would really work too. Netherwort. How could I forget netherwort? And bushes. Ow, ow. There's not a lot of options for the orange flowers, but maybe we can use this mushroom because there's orange in it. If we put in some warped sprouts and also orange terracotta, it matches pretty good. We can also do candles. I almost forgot about candles. Just sprinkling them in. Maybe if we put it on terracotta, it'll camouflage it a bit more. Ow. Outside flowers are done. So now we gotta do the inside of the conservatory. Just gonna break some of the glass and have it so that the leaves are just sort of spilling out on the side too. And the inside, we can rough up the ground. We can add things like composters and pots. Maybe add in some shelves. A little gardening table would be really cute here. And we could just absolutely fill this thing with plants. In the drawing that we did, I did put in multiple colors of flowers inside of here, but I decided to just stick with red to keep it more cohesive. And then I got to work doing the last bit of greenery. We just gotta do one final thing. Oh, look at them go. How long do you think they're gonna last up here? Good thing I have an extra pair of rabbits underground. With the rabbits in, we are done. So we have the bushes and the little trees. I did put down some string so that the vines don't get out of control, but I don't think I put down enough, so it will probably eventually overtake everything. At the back of the house, we have a pathway, and it leads to this little dining table. I put in a little puddle, or maybe it's slowly turning into a pond. I put this in mostly for the rabbits. They would need some sort of water source to survive up here. I imagine this spot used to be the kitchen, so I put in a little furnace. This used to be a bedroom. The second half of the bed is just slowly disintegrating into the ground. A couch that's probably very moldy, and a small bookshelf. The books are probably all about flowers and gardening. I put in a wooden beam that used to hold up the roof. I'm not sure about you guys, but I love looking at videos and pictures of abandoned places, so I had a lot of fun with this build. And inside of the conservatory is a lot more overgrown than before. Ooh, rabbit, sorry. I did also light up this area. I didn't really want to because it's supposed to be abandoned, but I do want it mob-proof, so I added glow lichen. Luckily the light isn't spreading down the sides, so I guess it worked out. Was that a skeleton? No, 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 no. Oh. Hey. Hello? Oh, he's gone. Well, that was easy. Well, here's the problem. I just realized, but I didn't bring back the green glass. I think it's okay without it. From down here, you don't really see the house, just a bit of the leaves, which is what I wanted, so that's good. And even if you come out all the way over here, you don't really see it. Maybe on certain elevations you might be able to, but it's good enough for me. One last look with the drawing. I really like the fact that you don't know that this place even exists until you come up here. Let's hope that the gardener and the woodworker got away safe. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye! Rabbits!